Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
How are you doing this evening? I am absolutely delighted, pleased and honored to be here with you this evening. But I'm always pleased to be here in Chicago with my colleagues and my friends whom I've worked with over the years. First, I'd like to thank my friend and colleague, Congressman Danny Davis, for their very generous introduction. Congressman Davis truly is a highly respected member of Congress who has already taken his place in history as a strong leader. Congressman Davis is well known for his legislative advocacy on behalf of men and women entering society following time served in correctional facilities. He introduced what is known as the Second Chance Act, which would serve as a strong starting point in providing ex-offenders exactly what they need to have a second chance. So as you can see, Danny Davis has given a lot to all of us. So the losses that his family are now facing are especially heartbreaking. I must take a brief moment to express my sincere condolences to Congressman Davis and to his family. Danny, you and your family remain in the thoughts and prayers of your colleagues in Washington who love you dearly. We will do everything we possibly can to support you in this difficult time. Let us all give Danny a big round of applause. We love you, Danny Davis. Thank you, Danny. Thank you so very much. I'd now like to extend a very personal thank you to Mary Green, founder and president of the Black Women's Expo. Mary established this event, I'm told, as a forum 23 years ago to celebrate the strength and significance of African American women in this country. I understand that this is now the longest running expo of its kind. Good work, Mary. Give her a big round of applause. And of course, I want to thank my longtime friend Ken Smichael, president of Target Marketing News, who has also worked to organize this event. And I want to acknowledge Ken for his many years of work with the minority business community. Would you give him a big round of applause? Now, ladies and gentlemen, also present this evening, and I'm so pleased they're here, my dear friend, Reverend Jesse Jackson, and my dear friend and sister, Jackie Jackson. I've known them and worked with them and the entire family for many years. They are like family to me, and my friendship with them is one of the most valuable relationships I have in my life. Would you please give them a big round of applause? So it feels good to be back in Chicago, you know. Chicago has sent some of the strongest and most effective representatives to the U.S. Congress. I can attest to the fact that your representatives in Chicago and your senators are working so hard to fight for you and for the city every day. There may be some members of Congress in the audience, but let me just take a few minutes to recognize a few at this time. Congressman Bobby Rush, to whom I also want to offer my condolences. He recently suffered the loss of his beautiful, talented, and committed wife of 36 years. Give him a big round of applause. And then there's Congresswoman Robin Kelly, who is the head of our health caucus in Washington, D.C., doing a wonderful job. And of course, she has paid a lot of attention to the problems of young people in the city, organizing and working every day to try and bring about change. And then there's Congressman Luis Gutierrez, Congresswoman Mike Quigley, Congressman Dan Lipinski, Congresswoman Jan Schakowsky, Congressman Greg Snyder, Bill Foster, who serves with me on financial services, Cherry Bustos, Dick Durbin, of course, Senator, and Senator Tammy Duckworth. They're all great legislators, and we're working every day in an abnormal situation, doing the very best that we can. Give these legislators a big round of applause. So I want I want to take a few minutes to go through some things here. I know you've been sitting here for a long time. Unfortunately, the planes were backed up because of weather conditions, and I was late getting in here. Didn't even have time to go to the room and put my little black dress on. But anyhow, I want to thank you for your patience. And I want to go through a few things with you. So if you will be a little bit more patient so that I can share some information with you, I would appreciate it very much. So recently, I responded to the host of a well-known television talk show. I responded to him because he had the audacity to try and demean and intimidate me. In preparing my response to him, I recognize that really, ladies and gentlemen, it's not just me, a member of Congress, who too often is a recipient of disparaging and negative comments, mostly made by white men, who believe that they're all things to all people. I decided that I would use my response to remind black women how truly special we are, how nurturing we are, often in our lives, and how we've made tremendous contributions to our families, our communities, and to our country. In my message to black women, this is what I said when I did that television response. I said, I'm a strong black woman. Yes. I cannot be intimidated. And I said, don't allow these right-wing talking heads to imitate you or to intimidate you or to scare you. Be who you are. Do what you do. And I further said, let's get on with the issues. And of course, I took just a moment to remind everybody who Bill O'Reilly is and who Roger Ailes is. And I talked about the fact that they had been sued by women over and over again for sexual harassment. And so I wanted to remind people that this Bill O'Reilly was someone that we need not pay attention to because his day was coming. Yes. Yes. Now, and as God would have it, over 40 companies have withdrawn their ads from the O'Reilly. Yes. And the public is being reminded of its post-past history and the way he's treated women. The Justice Department has opened an investigation into Fox News, raising the question of whether or not they have failed to report the $13 million that they have paid out for harassment suits to their investors. And it appears that women are still coming forward to talk about their experiences with what I have dubbed the sexual harassment enterprise at Fox News. Now, while the sexual harassment allegations and hostile working environment at Fox has been swirling around for years, that should concern us. What should concern us now, most now, is that the President of the United States is defending one of Fox News' most notorious offenders. When the President of the United States goes out of his way to defend a sexual predator, he's sending a message that will have broader consequences outside of his single statement. This statement sends the message that it's okay to treat women this way. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not. It's disrespectful to us as women and as voters. In fact, studies have shown that black women are a strong and reliable voting demographic. An analysis by the Center for American Progress showed that women of color are a key emerging voting bloc with the potential to significantly affect electoral outcomes. Specifically in 2012, black women voted at a higher rate than any other group across gender, race, and ethnicity, and along with other women of color, played a key role in President Obama's re-election. According to another study, 78% of black women self-report their party affiliation as Democrat. That same study noted strong and consistent voter turnout by black women based on a strong sense of responsibility. In fact, CNN found that 94% of black women voters voted for Hillary Clinton in the most recent presidential election, the highest turnout of any group. As a group, black women have the power to decide an election, and I do hope that each and every one